Some more on this. I'm joined by Mr. Aruneshwar Gupta. He's a senior lawyer with the Supreme Court. Thank you, Mr. Gupta, for joining us here on Doordarshan News this evening. The Supreme Court's judgment coming today on the National Judicial Appointments Commission. For a better understanding for our viewers, tell us what does this mean? The Supreme Court's judgment today.
This judgment which is pronounced today will be what we will call in the common parlance the fourth judge's case. The first judge's case which came at the very initial stages of in 70s. That was a time when the mere consultation was converted into a serious consultation. The court took the view that you just can't consult the Chief Justice and appoint anybody else. So the court said that this has to be a meaningful consultation. And once the Chief Justice says that the appointment has to be there, then that person has to be appointed. Now, this basic controversy relates to four issues. You see, one is the appointment of advocates as judges of high courts. The second is appointment of high court judges as judges to Supreme Court. The third is the judges who is to be appointed as Chief Justice in High Court. And finally, since the seniority is issued right now for appointment of Chief Justice, one of the important issues also comes up is to who is going to become the Chief Justice of India finally. So these are the four issues which they have been confronting. After the first judge's case came the second judge's case, where it was felt that the process of appointment was creating difficulty in the sense that there are two parts of how do you pick a right person? You see, in the end of the day, there is no confrontation. Everybody wants that you must have the best judges or you must have the best advocates appointed as judges.
Sure.
The real issue is that how do you pick them? Now, in the process of picking them, the best people who know about how a lawyer is performing comes from the judges. The professional, how they draft their matters, how they express themselves, how they interpret the statutes, and how they are able to express. That's the real issue. The second part is the people who know other people. That is a contact issue. So the real confrontation is basically between a competency and contacts. Now, who will judge the best lawyer or who will find the best high court judge who will become a judge of a Supreme Court? That is only by the performance. And judges are the best people to have the performance of the lawyers and also the judges. The third judge's case, which virtually said that once the collegium has finalized the appointments, nobody can change it. So that is how the three judges came.
The third judge case.
And now we have the four judges case, which clearly says that the collegium system is to continue, which virtually puts a finality on the process of appointment of judges, transfer of judges, and appointment of Chief Justices.
Right. Mr. Gupta, experts have opened, they have opinions on the NJAC and as well as the collegium system. As far as the NJAC is concerned, experts have opened that it may represent a voice of the government, and as well as collegium system is concerned, there have been opinions about transparency, that transparency could be a factor in that. So keeping in view these, the views that there are on both the NJAC and the collegium system in appointments, can there be a middle path? Can a middle path be struck as far as appointments are concerned?
You see, once the objective is clear that you have to have the best lawyers as judges who have the integrity and who can do a real good job as being the judges. And today, you see, when I'm talking in 2015, when we are talking in the information age, there can always be a middle path. Because the basic issue is that where is the information of the right advocates. Now today we have got the National Informatics Center is doing a very good job. We have information on exactly how many the lawyer is appearing in how many matters, how much time he is standing before the court,
right?
How many cases is filing. And when I talk of appearances, the issue is not merely of whether he is getting an interim order like bails or stay petition, but how many ideas or interpretations he has given which has led to some serious judgments. Similarly, when you talk of appointment of judges from High Court to Supreme Court, you have got entire data You have exactly data that how many judgments have been delivered. Now, this is some information which the government has. And this is where the government can make its real contribution in appointing the right judges.
Sure.
Because this information they can put before the Chief Justice.
Sure.
And if the collegium is there to appoint a judge whose information is not there, then it can always be the government who can put up the correct information.
Okay. My last question to you, Mr. Gupta, is on judicial reforms. Now, with the NJAC, the government has said that, the intention behind it was, of course, apart from transparency in the appointments, was also to bring in, more judicial reforms. Now, with the Supreme Court's judgment coming in today on the NJAC, that's for everyone to see. But what more can be done? What more steps can be considered as far as judicial reforms in the country is concerned?
You see, so far the judicial reforms are concerned, the impact of the judges on judicial reforms can be termed as twofold. One is the acts made by the parliament, because that gives the political philosophy. We are also looking for development as an economic empowered nation.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to that, whether those acts which are made by the parliament, how does the judiciary take it? Now, if you have the right judges, that is the real issue, where I don't see a confrontation either between the judiciary or the government. Because ultimately, the judiciary also wants the nation to become empowered. And they have been fully supporting the system. And they will continue to support it. This has been continued. There has been issues, there have been some aberrations here and there. But that is not the whole. The multitudes of cases are decided in the manner where the delivery is for the common man, because ultimately the judiciary is also standing between the government and the common man. Ultimately the problem is of the common man who suffers because of certain reasons, and that is where the judiciary role comes in. So the entire reforms, judicial reforms, the process will come out of the judiciary itself, so there is no difficulty on that.
All right, Mr. Gupta, thanks very much for joining us here on Doordarshan News this evening and sharing your perspective with us. Thanks very much.